If your parents already had funds for your college career, they gave you a huge advantage for the trajectory of your financial world. But if your parents didn't have any funds and they made you take out loans, they did a huge disservice for you. And let me show you why. Okay, so we do have a few variables to go through so nobody would be confused. What I did do was calculate the math for you. Aside from the calculations, a big thing that I need to explain is what this T means, okay? T stands for time T, and when you're dealing with any type of math, that literally just means either the observation point you are observing in that given moment or the now. So literally right now. Usually there is an X here, but I don't want to confuse anybody, so I went ahead and put a real number. In this instance, T minus 1 literally means just that. So let's say T is right now, minus 1 could be like yesterday or last week or last month or last year, however we define what this unit is, okay? And same thing over here. So T plus 1 just means now, tomorrow, a year from now, a week from now, whatever, okay? So when you go to college and you owe tuition on those college books, right? Whatever that tuition is, if when you owe it, you actually pay it in that moment, then you would just straight up pay the regular tuition, which in this case is $50,000, and I just arbitrarily made that up. Now the issue is most people don't actually have $50,000 to pay their tuition. So they either are going to use their parents' money or they're going to take out a loan. In this instance, we're basically going to evaluate how much more you end up spending or saving on tuition given the interest rate you would have paid on it if you needed to take a loan out, okay? Okay, so our interest rate in this example is 5%, all right? And that is monthly because people pay their debt monthly. The way time value statistics work is you're just taking variables and you're projecting it out into the future or you're projecting it into the past, okay? So again, if somebody were to get their tuition bill right before they started the semester and it was $50,000 and they spent the $50,000 in that moment, swipe their card, whatever, right? They're just paying the regular price of tuition, all right? So then that ends up leading us to the future, right? So technically when you take out loans, all you're doing is deferring the cost, right? You're taking the education now and you're deferring the cost. Whereas over here, you were deferring the education and paying the cost, right? That's how you got it to be so cheap over there. But over here, because you are deferring the cost, but you are doing the education, you are now susceptible to the interest rates. I wish I had a better explanation on why it works like that, like how you get to this number, but I really don't right now unless I would like to teach you fucking statistics. But when you project the same interest rate out, right, into the future, you get to $89,000, which is really closer to $90,000. If we do the math, this is technically a solid like $39,000, $40,000 that student otherwise wouldn't owe if they either had the money up front or their parent had the money up front, okay? And technically, this is money that they saved, right? What's the math on that? It's about $23,000. So they saved about $23,000 just by the parent being prepared. So take this into account for your own future children, that sometimes it can look very simple on the surface. You know, oh, they can just take out the loan, they'll be fine, whatever. But honestly, exponential increases in interest rate, money, all of that plays such a huge role. And what could have been just $10,000 to you if you were saving it for your child could mean $50,000, $100,000 for them later down the line. So we should really try to be very cognizant of that, okay? And if you have children, you kind of owe them the best path, the best trajectory. So you should try to gather that for them.